Good morning, and it's the last vlog of 2020, you will be glad to hear. I hope everyone is well, and I was up in the top of Tinto last night, and it was absolutely freezing, but magnificent at the same time. Magnificent, it was absolutely incredible. Anyway, I didn't do a vlog yesterday because I was sharing my time with a friend, April, who was up with me in the water. But got loads and loads of feedback around about what if depression is not a mental illness and depression is an adaptation to an invisible threat, if you like. Okay, so on that note, what I've been thinking about and reflecting on is lockdown. And I was actually speaking this morning about this, around about national lockdown. When we were in national lockdown, we knew exactly where we were. We knew what the parameters were. We knew the container. We were contained within a set of rules, which was national. And it was, this is the rules, this is what you do. Stay home, don't do very much. Now we are, good morning, Mr. Kelly. We will see you shortly. I assume you're not bringing your shorts and joining us for a swim after this. Okay, so when we were in national lockdown, there was a container. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is imagine here that you're on the motorway. You're on any motorway, the M25, the M8. Morning, Paul. Hope you're well, buddy. You're on the M8 and you're on a motorway. You're doing 70 miles an hour. And you're doing 70 miles an hour. And there's a metal barrier between you and the southbound or the northbound traffic, depending what way you're travelling. Right, so imagine that you're in the fast lane on the motorway and you're doing 70 miles an hour and there's traffic in the fast lane going the opposite way, doing 70 miles an hour, and you've got this aluminium barrier between you, right? Now in your imagination, imagine that you're on a road and you're doing that 70 miles an hour and there's no barrier between you and the oncoming traffic. Now, not that barrier could probably, it's a preventative measure, okay? Is it going to stop you veering onto the other lane? Probably not, but it's a preventative measure. And it's also, that barrier gives us a felt sense of safety, okay? So when we were in national lockdown, we had a barrier. This is the container within the container. We felt contained to an extent within it. And, you know, the national lockdown was described in a lot of ways. The first lockdown is the good lockdown. Now we're in this kind of tier system. We're in tier 3, we're in tier 4, Scotland's in tier 4, UK-based London, etc. It's all in different tiers. But then within those tiers, we've got different levels of workers. So you could be a worker within level 1, like a level 1 key worker, level 2, level 3, level 4. And there's all these different rules within all these different structures, within all these different sets of tiers, okay? So I'm just wondering, as I think about depression, and I've started to think about depression the way that I think about addiction, that addiction's not the problem. The problem's not addiction. The problem's not the fact that you're using alcohol or using drugs or using Oxycontin or using gambling, sex, drugs, rock and roll, escaping on the internet, whatever it is that you're using. You've got a feeling which needs to be managed that's probably going on at an unconscious level, right? Now, what if our autonomic nervous system, right, which is like super advanced, you don't know anything about the autonomic nervous system, go and look at the autonomic nervous system. Our autonomic nervous system regulates our heart rate variability. We blink, we breathe. We don't think about it. It's out with our conscious control. Good morning, Marty Lee. I hope you're well. Hope you're busy and you're making loads of money, buddy. So our autonomic nervous system is like really clever, like super clever. And it's beyond a sense of any academic or cognitive intelligence. It's working at a level which could probably only be described, and I don't like the word, psychic. We've got a felt sense, a gut felt sense. And, you know, I challenge the belief that the brain that we have in the gut is our second brain. I really don't think it is. I actually think we've got a brain that hovers somewhere in our auric field that can perceive things. Like, for an example, right, I completely believe this, that my house is my castle, it's my cave. right? And I work from home, right? But the majority of the time I work from home. So I spend a lot of time at home. Now, I believe that my home, there's a part of me, there's an invisible part of me that lives in my house, right? And although I'm down here in the Clyde right now, I have got a belief that if someone were to break into my house or be in my house against my blessing, I have got a belief that there's a part of me that can sense that. Now, I believe that part of me is living within my autonomic nervous system. So when we start to talk about the autonomic nervous system and we start to look at depression, well, people would say depression starts in the mind. You get headaches, you feel sick, you feel tired, you're fatigued, blah, 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 right? But what if it doesn't start in your mind? What if it starts in your body? What if it starts with your autonomic nervous system, this invisible psychic part of us that's able to perceive things out with time, space and matter and out with a cognitive understanding or capacity? What if we are sensing threat and depression is actually a solution to that threat to put us into almost like we've got fight, flight or freeze? Because depression could be a kind of freeze response. What if depression and anxiety is not a problem and it's a solution to an unconscious and autonomically perceived threat that's in our environment? Just putting some thoughts out there, because that vlog that I did 2 days ago, I got probably the most amount of response about. People started to send me messages about it, and I thought I would continue that on. So if you did send me messages, thank you. They were well received, and we have a wee laugh when we come out of here, because not that I want to show off my body, but it looks as if you've been at the sunbed. I look as if I've been at tanning. My skin's all red. Anyway, last vlog of the year, last vlog of 2020, and really, thank you for watching, and thank you for inspiring me to think, and thank you for your messages. Thank you for telling me what worked well and what worked better, and I'm looking forward to continuing the work in 2021, and I'm wishing you all the very, very best. Have a great day, have a fantastic new year, and we'll be in touch. Thank you, take care, all the best, God bless.